whatever it was, is on the new Stihl Whip Snipper FS85 that I bought. I've used it all week, and I don't know, like, I'm probably judging it off something that it probably can't, that I shouldn't be judging it off. But that's the fact that it only takes 2.4mm line, or 0.95 line, or no, 0.95, whatever it is, 0.95 line. With that being said, I'm having to refill the thing twice a day, and that is extremely frustrating, especially because it's so time consuming to refill it. I'm used to the speed feed heads where it literally takes a minute to refeed it. You just cut one piece of line, feed it through, twist it on, done. Away you go again. This one, you've got to cut a piece of line, cut that piece of line in two equal lengths, then feed it into the little holes on the spool. Obviously, you take the spool out, fold it over itself, wind it on, which is not the simplest thing. It's not hard, but it's just a pain in the ass. Put it back on, loop it around the thing, the little metal bits inside the head, and then put it through the eyelets. It's just time consuming, and then you've got to do it twice a day. Like, I was doing the speed feed head, once. Like, if it was full at the start of the week, I might have to fill it once in the week. Once, like towards the end of the week or something. Like, not, but again, I don't know whether that's because of, I'm sure it's, being only 2.4mm line, you go through much more line than you would with 2.7, which is what I was using in the speed feed heads. The whipper snipper's powerful enough to be able to handle it. It's just that the head won't accept it, won't take it in the hole, so it doesn't spool on properly, and then just becomes a pain in the ass. And the first video I did was after sort of first using it, and I was, my head was off because I was using the wrong size line. I actually stopped and what I was doing, and then went back into town, which is 15 minutes out of my way, in the middle of a job, to get different line, which is another thing where I'm a little bit pissed off with, because I've got a huge big spool of line, like might even be more than that. It's a 5-pound reel, I think, and it's hardly been, I've been using it a little while, but it's got shitloads of line on it, and 0.3 of a mil, and the stuff doesn't fit in it, is the difference between the two lines. So it's, what I've also come to realise is that the speed feed heads don't go on the Stihl products, and it's sort of it's a great machine. It's got so much power. I'm loving it. Like, it's easy to start, and it's so good. But just this head, the line just gets way too short before it spits out more, and then it sort of doesn't really know what it wants to do. It sort of spits it out after a while, and then you'll have, it's just a nightmare. So I'm hoping I've ordered another one, ordered another head. Hopefully that'll accept 2.7. If it doesn't, at least it'll be, I think it's the auto cut, which is a little bit faster to feed. I think you sort of like the speed feed head, but I'm pretty sure that like Shindao or whoever makes a speed feed head has a patent on speed feed heads, but that doesn't mean that, like, there's other speed feed heads out there that aren't called speed feed that do exactly the same thing. I've used a couple that don't actually say speed feed on it at all, so just because they've got a patent on it doesn't mean that you can't make it. You just got to make a slight difference or something like that. But so what I was getting at was, Stihl are obviously try to limit your options as far as using other products when it comes, which is fair enough, but is a pain in the ass when their products aren't up to scratch, to be honest. It's a simple thing like a head on a trimmer. You know, there's plenty of stuff out there that works very good. It's not hard to, you know, get something that what does work good. So, but still make it difficult because they don't fit on their heads and whatever. So, and you would think being such a big company, that their products should be the best. You know, their power heads are great. You know, the power coming out of these things are awesome. It does a good job, but it's just the amount of line that I like to use, which is, you know, it's probably between, I like to have about 8 to 12 inches out each side, you know, which I don't think it's not super long or anything like that, but it just gives it enough so you don't have to go, if you're trying to get say you're going up against a fence, you don't have to you know, do like 2 trims down the side of the fence. You want to just be able to walk along the fence and it be cutting enough grass to not have to worry about going back down again. So you know, you don't need to worry about your mower and how far your mower comes out. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to have a quick chat about this morning. It's a little bit frustrating, but hopefully with this new head it'll be a little bit different. I mean, I'm making do. It's just the fact that I have to re-spool the line all the time. That's what's pissing me off, is that, like, honestly, I put brand new line in it on my last job yesterday, and then by the time I was on my 6th job yesterday, sorry, re-spooled it on, today's Friday, re-spooled it on Wednesday afternoon on my last job, before, like halfway through it. So I ran out halfway through the job, went to the truck, re-spooled it, went back down, finished the job, and then by the sixth job on the next day, I was done. You know, I was done again and had to re-spool it. And they weren't massive jobs. They weren't heaps of whip snipping. It wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, that's just a bit of rambling. I think still need to work on their product that they're putting on their heads, their trimmers. You know, I'm giving it 10 out of 10 as far as everything else goes, but that head is just frustrating. And when you're out there and you know, time's money. You know, you need those. You need the heads to be, you know, easy to spool. Get out there, get back into it, and do your thing. So, something to work on. Anyone from Still, if you're watching, not that you will be, but I don't know if you guys know of anything that works better. I've never seen any of the guys on YouTube using these heads, so I just want to know if you all have the same problem. Righto guys, cheers. Hey guys, so found this little guy here. He's real sick. It's a Australian ringtail possum, I think. No animal expert, but I think that's what it is. Looks like he's had a bit of a altercation with a cat. Lost a bit of fur. He's pretty crook. In Australia we have a local group, oh not a local, sorry, a group of people called Wires. They basically look after sick and injured animals. So I've contacted them and hopefully they'll be here pretty soon to pick up that little guy. And he's alive, like he's moving, but he's not happy. He's not real well. So anyway, hopefully they can do something for him and save the poor little guy. Righto guys, on to the next one. Actually, I'll give you a little look at this lawn here. Just finished it up. So good job, but yeah, feeling pretty bad about that little guy over there. But yeah, hopefully they can do something for him. Alright. Hey guys, check this guy out. That's a blue-tongued lizard. He's pretty quiet. Surprising actually, in the middle of the day. They're usually pretty scared of us. It's pretty lucky. I've just mowed, I reckon I've just mowed straight over him and he must have been in pretty deep. So I didn't get him. Lucky. Alright, a bit of Australian wildlife again for you boys. Hey guys, so finished result. Did the front with the bear ride. Come up pretty nice.
Now for the back. So ended up doing this with the walk behind, unfortunately, but that's just the way it went. Got it done. Looks a fair bit better than what it did. It's still pretty rough, but when it's as bad as that, you can't, as they say, you can't polish a turd. So yeah, just went around the edge, mowed first, then went around the edge. Did as good as I could in the trees there. It's pretty, needs a lot of work, this place, as far as down that side there. So might be able to add on a sail there. But yeah. Good thing I had me Honda. That thing is a dead set beast. That charged through that stuff pretty easily. Alright, that's it for the day. Big day tomorrow, got a helper tomorrow, so we'll see how we go. Alright, later.
Hey guys, so I haven't made a video, or released a video should I say, in a couple of weeks. I have been obviously extremely busy with the business at the moment. Got my sister's wedding next week, so I've been sort of preparing and getting stuff in order just to be able to take a week off this time of year. So I've been flat out with work. Did 77 lawns in 6 days this past week, so I've got very little footage. I took a few photos and stuff, but nothing too. I actually had my wife with me 2 of the days, and I had my dad with me 2 of the other days, and then did 2 days on my own, so it was pretty crazy, but it was good. You know, I'm starting to feel more comfortable working with other people. I find, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I find it a little bit hard, and I'm a little bit hard on the people I work with, you know, and probably, you know, it's really hard obviously on my wife, and that's something that I've got to get better at, is working with them. And you know, I've got to remember that she's still my wife, and you know, I've got to treat her with the respect and you know, that she deserves. You know, and she's still learning, and my dad has had a little bit more experience. He's into sort of that, you know, this type of stuff, and but you know, I'm trying to. I basically do all the trimming, so all the edging, and you know, the weed eating or whippersnippering or whatever you want to call it. We did 17 jobs the other day, and they were 17 big ones, so that was a big day with 2 of us, and I didn't touch a mower the whole day. So and my dad didn't touch the whippersnipper all day. He was on the mowers all day, which suits him and suits me, because you know, I know, you know, I'm sure you guys know the people who utilise employees and whatever, but you know, still small enough to be out there running your business as well. You know that your edges are the most important things, getting the edge right, and you're trimming around bushes and things like that, and making sure that's right. That's, as far as cutting grass, that's the most important aspect of it. You know, that's, you can stuff up cutting with the mowers, but you know, it's a lot harder, and you know, the edges. So yeah, doing the mowing side of things, it's more or less just teaching them about you know, the way they cut. You know, I like my mowing basically to be sort of up and back, or stripes if you like. Even though the grass may not stripe, but I think it's quicker to do it up and back rather than going around in circles sort of thing, or around the perimeter and working your way in. think the way I generally do it is do a perimeter run first, and then just work, up and back, work my way, through the lawn that way, sort of backwards and forwards. And then when you're mulching and stuff, you may not get a perfectly clean cut, so you've also got to be then mindful of what you're leaving behind and how that looks, and then if you're doing a certain pattern and then you leave one stripe that's across everything you've just done with the blade still going or whatever, and it leaves it, if you're cutting up and down and then you leave you're cutting this way and then you leave a line that goes that way, that's no good. So just little things like that that they might be unaware of just as noobs in the thing, and they don't really have the vision to sort of look for those type of things that I do. So it's all part of the learning curve, and I'm learning as much as they are, as far as what's the best way to teach them, and then also the way to, I guess, the best way to communicate with them to help them understand what I'm looking for. And my dad was really good as far as understanding that. He was a lot of times where I would literally just stop him in his tracks, and I'd just say, look, try it like this, watch me do it, I'll demonstrate for him, and at the end of the day I was really pleased with how much work we got done, and the quality of it, and I just sort of spoke to him about it, and he can appreciate me asking him to do things in a different way, because he realises that I like it to look good, and it's my livelihood, and to him it might just be cutting grass, but to me it's it's how I put food on the table for my family, and and also I probably I can put my business growth and recommendations from other people, and that coming from the work that I already do, being good quality work. So that's getting back to it. I think that's one of the hardest things, that first stage of growth in your business, going from one person to two people to three or more, or having multiple crews going out on a daily basis. The more I think about it and the types of work that we do, I don't think having more than two people at any one job site is productive time-wise, because it seemed like when there was two of us there, it was like, trimming, someone was trimming, someone was mowing, and then one of us would either finish first, and then you'd be blowing off and then going, there's that, to have a third person, I don't, I'm sure there's probably, on a huge job, you could have probably two people mowing at the same time, or two people trimming, or whatever it might be. I can understand that, but the size of the work that we do generally here, residential type stuff, or body corporates, unit complexes, things like that, we're not doing massive properties. Well, I'm not anyway, sorry, I'm only speaking for myself, so I don't, it's probably, two-man crews is the way to go, I think, as far as time efficiency goes, and that. So getting back to how I started was, doing a lot of work in preparation to go away next week. We go away Wednesday evening, so I'm working. Today's the first day off I've had in a week. So having today off, and then got Dad's coming out with me again tomorrow, and then I should be on my own for the next 2 days after that. I've still got a crap load of work to do, so those 2 days, they'll be long days, but hopefully we'll get it done, and then we're off. So off for a week, which is good. It's a nice little refresher, and it's a physical refreshment, but I can honestly say, it stresses me out when I'm away, because I can't be in control of things. If someone calls me, or I can't just go and do a quote or whatever. And I think that's another reason why I think that my business is growing so much over the past 12 months, is that I've been able to stay on top of my quotes. So, and I think that's important. I think people can really appreciate if you go to the effort to get out to them to do a quote straight away. You know, it's very rare that I'm you know, if they ask for a quote, that I'm not there that day or the next day at the latest. And you know, if you can get yourself in front of that person and meet them face to face, you know, first, you know, you're really setting yourself up for being the best, and making a good impression on them straight away. And I've seen a video from someone I haven't seen a video from today, you know, about presentation and all that, and you know, you know, as far as making a say, and that's what we are. Honestly, we're selling ourselves, and we're selling what the service that we give. So if you know, if you rock up to a person's place 3 days after they've asked you to go there, you know, and you act like you don't want to be there or whatever it might be, you know, there's a fair chance they're not going to give you the work, or they're not going to employ you. So, you know, getting there fast or getting there as soon as you can. You know, you don't have to be straight on it, but as soon as you can, and you know, making a good impression on that person goes a long way to them, you know, liking you as a person from the beginning. And I think that's, you know, that's probably 75 to 80% of you getting the work, because generally in their eyes anyone can mow a lawn. They just want to pay someone to do it. So being a good person, you know, presenting yourself well, and then obviously backing that up with good quality work, you know, you're going to have a client for a long time. So you know, everyone says it, but I think it goes to show. And you know, I had an example of that on Friday afternoon. You know, a lady spoke to me Thursday night, and she told me what time she could meet up on Friday afternoon, and you know, I managed to squeeze that in what I was doing. Went around there and met with her, and she said she was getting a quote from another person, which is fine. I did, and she contacted me about 2 hours after I was there, and said, you know, I want to give you the work. You know, let's do it. So that was that, and you know, new client on the books. So you know, as I said, I think that's, you know, I got there first. Obviously painted a good picture on myself and my, you know, and my service and what I can do. So that was a new client, which is great. So that I had 3 really good weeks in a row there where I picked up I think 12 or 13 new clients. Had a pretty quiet week last week as far as that goes, and then picked up another two or three this week. Again, all word of mouth stuff. I think one of the ladies contacted me through Facebook, but she was sort of a local in the area where she might know me or my family beforehand. So that's, I could call that a word of mouth thing as well. She actually commented on people saying that she'd heard good reports. So that's always nice to hear. So Skag's going well. Done a deck belt, but so that was out of action till I got a couple of belts. But that's why I have a backup, I guess. So that was handy, and yeah, so everything else is pretty good. Still's going really well, loving it. I've actually, at the start of this video, you'll see me talk about the heads. I actually got a speed feed head. I had the wrong arbor to fit the speed feed heads. The speed feed heads do fit on the stills, so that was my mistake, just being an idiot. So if they do fit, I got it on there and it's going great. I'm so happy with it. Since putting the speed feed head on, it's been awesome. I do go through the line pretty quick, but I think that's also the type of edging and stuff that I do. A lot of vertical edging that tends to chew your line up pretty quick. But you know, I just put a couple of 10 feet rolls in my pocket for the day, and you know, if I run out, it takes, like, I don't even turn the whipper snipper off. So I just put the whipper snipper down, and then and feed the line through, twist it on. 30 seconds later, I'm back in action. So, yeah, I can't recommend them enough. I really don't understand why every single trimmer in the world doesn't have them on them to begin with, because the other ones, the ones that still make it, just honestly, they're pains in the asses and take, too long to do, and they're no better as far as line or whatever. They still go through the line just as quick. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, big few days ahead. Probably won't get too much filming done. Maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday I might get some filming in, but yeah, probably be another week or two before a new video comes up because I'm going away. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about anything going on, shoot them at me. And yeah, we'll have a chat. Righto, guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.